How many ankles you break? A lot.
A lot.
How many cheesecakes you eat? A lot. Only got like another hour and a half to go, so that's good. Yeah. A lot shorter than my normal drives.
Yeah, that's a piece of cake.
All right. Y'all ready?
I'm out here.
What? No, I don't. Best.
We're going live, Zach.
Good. I was just getting those feelings on. You driving like me. What's up?
Are we
It's
live?
We're live.
We're
Steve,
live.
welcome everybody.
Live. Howdy,
All right.
howdy, howdy.
Well, we're here, PGF, season 2, the first episode of the matches dropped last night, I guess. Man, I was really excited to get to see it finally come down. See some of the other matches that everybody else had. It was really cool. Another really cool thing. We're doing this thing a little bit remote today, but we got the homie Zack Edwards coming in from his car while he's driving to another competition because he's a slayer. That's what he does. But yeah, we got him on here today to talk a little bit about our match and the situation that he faced going into the PGF, some of that kind of stuff. So Zack, tell what was it like for you coming into the PGF? What was the drive for you to get there?
About 12 and a half, 13-hour drive. And I texted Brandon, like, I think a week before that. I'm like, hey, you still got a spot open for the tournament? He's like, dude, he's like, a spot just opened up this morning. I was like, bet. Let me go talk to the boss, see if he'll let me take a week off. And let me take a week off, and there I went. Spur of the moment.
Crazy. I saw you guys like chatting enough in the comments about you coming in there and maybe taking off work to get in there. And I was like, no, please don't come in there and join this thing, man. There's enough people to worry about. I'm not gonna go against you. And then like, of course, when the thing came out, you were my very first match of the whole thing. And so what did you think when you saw that we were each other's first match? What was your first thought with that?
Oh man, I mean, right off the bat, I knew it was going to be tough, right? You know, Boogie don't just give black belts out to some random schmuck on the street. So I knew you were going to be tough. And I knew if I didn't, cross my I's and dot my T's, that I was going to get messed up real quick.
Yeah, I do that. And I honestly felt the same. I had seen you compete, obviously, in a bunch of big shows against a bunch of really high-level competition people. And people that I think were probably better than me. And I've seen you tap them out and do very well against guys that are higher level than I am, especially on paper. And so for me, when I was just like, well, here we go. This is the first match of the whole thing. Let's we can't
into the fire.
You got to set the pace somehow, but also not get hurt. Holding on to something for too long or playing too hard for the win against you instead of maybe giving up the tap in certain situations. And so thankfully, I don't think either one of us really got hurt during that match too much. I know that I had that Kimura straight armbar thing towards the end, but I don't think it was ever like, obviously it wasn't enough to make you tap, but I don't even think it was enough to really hurt you in that moment too much because of the way things were going. But
usually my arms were so long. It's funny. Usually my arms were so long. I usually don't even have to worry about that. But you did such a good job just putting your weight on top of me and then extending out over my arm. And it hyperextended a little bit, and it was a little bit sore after that, but soreness went away like.
Did we lose him?
Next morning. So it was a little.
Maybe.
Bit of a hiccup today. Oh, we're in the boonies. We're heading into the boonies.
Oh yeah. Probably about to lose all of it. nothing but trees. Texas. Well,
Texas, baby, Texas.
Texas. Yeah, and so well, man, I don't know how much more I guess we'll be able to get going through here, but that was definitely for me a really hard match, and I'm just really excited that we got through that and I was healthy. And I think for me, I showed some stuff that I was really proud of with a guy like your skill set. So it's hard not to, we're friends and stuff, but man, it felt really, really good to be able to showcase a little bit of like my passing and some of the stuff that I've really been working on for a long time on you. And that stuff, obviously, it's really hard to pass a guy's guard like yours. And so that for me, I feel like it helped set the bar for the rest of the other guys going into the rest of the season of what they may have to expect. And I don't know. I thought, man, that was good for me to get that out of the way early on, and then be able to just kind of relax, sort of, as far as one of the most dangerous guys. And there are other guys I thought that may be able to bully me a little bit and make me tired and stuff, but I didn't think they would ever be able to like hurt me or something like that. If you have that really dangerous fast style that can break someone from random positions like fast without any real hesitation. So I was super worried about that the whole time for the whole 6 minutes. And so that's why I really didn't even have a look at anything in my own until that last maybe 30 seconds when I just go for your arm, because I was like, man, I got to get something for all this work. I need anything for all this work, please. And like, it didn't materialize, man. So we zeroed each other out. They gave the match of the night to Randy and good match. They didn't do it, but good wrestling. Both of those guys had a good match, but I really thought we had a really, really good match, and I thought that it was the match of the night personally. We
for sure.
Kept the pace really high. You push a lot. You could have just like let me collapse on top of you and pass and take mount, all those things several times, like a lot of people do in those situations. So you made me work for it from start to finish. And man, all the respect in the world you do. Thank you so much for that match. It really like helped me with my own personal confidence to be able to go that hard with you and to get out of there.
Yeah, for sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. No, that match was amazing. I'll say it live now, but your pressure was pretty incredible once you passed my guard. I pretty much gassed myself out just trying to get out from underneath it just because it sucked so much. And I could tell by the squeeze that you had around my upper body that if you would have locked the arm triangle up, it would have been night, game over, because he's a strong Southern boy.
Like groceries. Yeah.
And that initial leg entanglement that I had on you after you had me in side control, I thought I was going to be able to get something off on that, but you did a pretty good job just clearing that knee line and pushing my knees away. And I was like, dang, well, there goes that shot.
Yeah, it's not my favorite place to be, is in the middle of a leg lock battle with a guy that's, high level at that stuff. So I knew that I had to just keep my feet away from you. And even if that meant going back into closed guards sometimes, that was going to be a better option than just standing up and keep trying to pass over and over and over again. So like I had to adopt a style of passing that I'm not the best at for some of it, where I was down on my knees and being really low on my face and stuff. So that's not my favorite way to pass anymore, but I knew that as soon as I popped up every time, you were like right up underneath me with that stuff. So that's it. It really made me have to play like all the variants of my guard passing style to be able to like really come out of that thing like that. And there's some good footwork stuff there. So a lot of heavy pressure. It's what I have to do to be able to win. A lot of times it's not what I want to be able to do all the time. I'd like to get down there and put you in my guard and sweep you or hit you with some good like go-go platos and stuff like that. But as we roll it out, it just typically doesn't work that way for me against guys like you to try to do that stuff. So I got to get you down. I got to pin you back to the mat, and I just got to make you suffer until I can get what I need. Or you guys do to me what you want to do, and I hate that.
Yeah.
So,
And that other triangle, that second triangle setup that I had from Mission Control, I just went pyramid. I thought for sure I had that one locked up, but again, you slipped right out of it.
yeah, and again, dude, like a lot of that stuff, I think we talked about it after that match. As far as rubber guard stuff goes, man, if anybody tries to throw up a good rubber guard on me, I immediately like have trauma flashbacks from Boogie, and all kind of like alarms and stuff go off in my body, and I just react and get out of that stuff.
I kind of when I had you there, I kind of was like, man, this fool's probably laughing at me throwing up rubber guard on him right now. Like, and having Boogie throw up rubber guard on you every night for however many years you were there.
It's a death trap. Yeah. So I had to play it really sharp. And thankfully, the experience, that I have being out there with Boogie and those guys in San Diego definitely was something that I leaned on pretty heavy. I think my style is it's good because I play that kind of avoid pass style anyway and don't really overcommit too much. I think the 6 minute match probably hurt me a little bit versus you this time. I think maybe an 8 or 10 minute match I could have probably scored a little bit better with the way it was going. But I probably would have played it a different way if it was an 8 or 10 minute match too. I wouldn't have maybe pushed the pace as hard as I did.
Yeah.
6 minutes. Exactly. So hard to say exactly what would have happened. If it was a 10 minute EBI match, you would have drug it out and waited more yourself for some stuff instead of just like hustling and inverting so hard and fast too. So you can't just say if it was longer, I would have, because you don't really, it's hard, we both know as high level guys that it could go either way in that last few minutes of a 10 minute match for sure. So
it gets crazy. Everybody's tired, exhausted, sweaty. People slip, end up in the wrong position.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes. That's why I tell people like I'm probably going to go back and show people our match. I'm like, hey, this is why you stay low. I keep telling people like when I'm coaching, I'm like, hey, you need to stay low against the leg lock. You can't be up high. All it takes is one misstep or one off balance from the guy on bottom to get you in the place that he wants you. If you're low and slow, man, you're going to cook that pass and make it a lot easier to pass them legs and them hips and get in the side control or mount or whatnot.
Yep. And so that's the thing. And so with the PGF style, that 6 minute match, it's hard to burn a guy like, that high level guy in 6 minutes. It's hard to burn him out if his guard's really good and he knows how to play that style. It's really hard to cook him down to be able to get to that next space that you need to dominate in your pressure style. So I don't know, man. It's fun. It was interesting, and it was a good hustle. I'm glad that we got to do it. It's super fun going forward. I don't know exactly how much or whatever, but we're definitely going to be working with you in some capacity at St. Planet Carey, bringing you out to come work with us, helping coach the team and be a part of the team. So I don't know exactly how that's going to look, but we're really excited to get to know you a little bit better over here in South Georgia and bring a little bit of a backcountry leg lock style to St. Planet Carey.
I'm definitely excited for that opportunity as well. I really wasn't expecting that from you. I guess we did kind of joke about it at the PGF itself, but you were 100% serious, and I'm grateful for that because
hey, real recognizes real, man.
Yeah,
we come and do different things.
It's crazy because we only met back in whenever you came out to do the seminar. Was the first time out at Austin, and
out in Austin, yeah.
And then drove out to do your show.
Yeah, and you're a brown brother to two of the guys that are highly respected institutions, Zack and JM. So they don't give those things away to people for nothing. That does, so that means a lot, and for us, that's a win, that's a steal to be able to get somebody like that on such a young team with just so many new minds that can take on, new ideas from everybody and blend the two styles together. I think And that's what we were talking about at the PGF. And I think when I left, I was really thinking about it a lot more, all those kind of things. And I was like, man, for my team, amazing is if we could have both
Uh-oh.
in the same room always, without having to wait 5 or 6 years to develop a guy like you, or to find a guy with a skill set that has worked as hard as you have to learn and work on it, develop it, and all that stuff the same way you have. So I think it's a steal to be able to get you on, man. So I'm so hyped up about it. Like I've told our team, I know a lot of them are like reaching out to me and stuff like that too. So I'm really excited for that.
But no, I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate the offer. You know, to get to teach and train full time is to be honest, I didn't expect it to come so soon. You know, when I started jiu-jitsu was maybe a little bit before I went to school for probably about 6 months before I went to school to be a diesel mechanic. And you know, that was I'm like, hey, I was still obviously pretty crappy. I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna do jiu-jitsu on the side. I'm just gonna be a hobbyist. And then I just got pulled into the competition thing and fell in love with competing, fell in love with learning more every day, and found out pretty quick that I wanted to do this jiu-jitsu for a living. And it's crazy how quick it's all come to fruition. And like I said, I'm definitely grateful.
It's the hard work, hustling, being a good person. Yeah, there's things that help you out. Don't do it. And, just do what you say you're gonna do, and things will happen for you.
Yeah.
It should. So,
Hey, Zach, Egghead wants to know how many sessions a week did you get to train to get your brown belt in 3 years?
Oh man. Let's see.
a lot.
So when a lot. So I want to say the first 3 months of training, I was kind of splitting time between 10 Planet and this karate school I was still at. And then ADCC trials came around in, I want to say 16. And they did an amateur event as well the next day. So like all the white, blue, purple, whatever could do the amateur event. And I had a triangle and I lost it. And the kid ended up, like I went and shot the triangle and he just slipped out of it. And I ended up losing on points. And after that, changed my whole mentality, my whole everything. I was in 10 Planet at least 6, if not 7 days a week, you know, most of the time. Putting 2 to 3 hours in a session. I would stay for the fundamentals and I would do advanced, and we would roll and we would get drills, and literally competed like every weekend. I did my first expert event as a white belt 6 months in, and I got 3rd place at Naga. So it elevated pretty quick.
Good, man. So that's the thing. It's like if you could train 5 or 6 days a week and you train 2 or 3 classes in those days, you know, then on average you're doing so much more than people who are, you know, the average person who do a brown belt in 7 or 8 years. You know, yeah. So that's really cool. It took me a long time to get mine, but I was doing a lot of MMA fighting and not as much just jiu-jitsu stuff. So the range wasn't really the main focus, and jiu-jitsu wasn't the main focus until I retired from fighting, basically, I guess. And, that's when my jiu-jitsu really accelerated. I was a brown belt still until after I retired, and that's when I finally got good enough to earn my black belt after I quit worrying about kickboxing and all that kind of stuff and really focus my energy.
You're still going to be going for quite a while. Oh, here I come. I'm back.
Back again.
I'm back in black.
Yeah. Isaac, any other questions?
It was a lot of training constantly. And Zack and Jam are just it wasn't just me, right? You know, Zack and Jam are amazing instructors. I got the pleasure to roll with Thor every night, Grace every night. And I mean, all the other killers in the room that nobody knows about, like Andrew Jones, Renee Souza, Jules Knighton, who's ridiculous. Pressure always was a hard role with him. I mean, countless other people. We had some big dudes in there. We had some little dudes in there. And I think that's also a thing that helped me a little more. Learning from smaller guys, 55, 145ers. You know, most of this technique that they teach isn't just gooning people's legs off or gooning people's arms off, right? So it's definitely more technical based, I want to say, and more scrambly, more scrappy. And I also think that I was probably one of the weaker guys in that room, which also helped me learn, hey, dude, if I gotta break this dude's grips apart, it's gonna be technical. I can't just out strength, rip his arm off and goon him out. So it made me have to focus on a little bit more technique wise on how to specifically break people's grips apart with the least amount of like effort. Jiu-jitsu, right?
That's what it is. It is what it is. That's cool. I didn't really think about all that stuff for you specifically. Because all I know is like Zack was the destroyer. But everybody has their like beginner story when they're coming up. And I was the biggest guy in the room, so I had to do X, Y, Z. And so for me, when I started, I was like extremely overweight at 380 pounds. So I had to learn how to play off my back because if I got on my back, I always died, like, no matter what. So I had to work to stand up for a long time, just learning how to even just get up over and over. It was really hard. But if I ever got on top of people, it was easy to smash. So it's just funny, all the things about jiu-jitsu that can be true. However, whoever you are and whatever your life experience is, you can frame some stuff in jiu-jitsu that'll help you understand it, and then you can do your jiu-jitsu better. I was the weakest guy in the room. You're not a weak guy, but in a room with like Thor and some of those guys, I mean, I'm probably weak too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just funny. It's all about perspective and where you are, what room you're in, and different things like that really matters a lot. So that's cool, man. You did get to come up with some really high level people that are very technical too. You see that through the students that come through the Death Lane system. Those guys, everybody that competes in high levels, and even in the not high levels, if you follow them, I've seen a lot of really stuff. They're all technically sound. They're not a bunch of clones of anyone. Everyone has their own flavors that they like. It's super cool to see all that stuff. But up now because that it just moved into a huge facility. It looks like so. That's gold right there. Find the right mojo and blow up over time.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Isaac?
Egghead Warrior wants to know which was the biggest surprise for Zack and who grew the most during the week.
Out of the PGF?
Yes.
I mean, who grew the most out of the week? I mean, there's no other than Randy the Wrestler, dude. I mean, it was incredible to see that dude.
Everybody hates
I'm so glad I fought him the first night because I don't think I would have leg locked him at the end of it. He was all over the place. He's super hard to keep control of. He's just so athletic. Got them thick farmer thighs. And, man, I had a couple of shots on him that I thought I was dead to right. I won't talk. But he was just so good.
Good save there, Steve.
Tell him what happened.
I won't tell him what happened, but it was tough.
Egghead will know everything.
He already knows everything somehow. He's like bugged the room or something.
I think Egghead had an inside guy.
Oh no!
Except he thought I was lethargic. He played himself in that one for sure. I'll never forget that. Even though it was just because of one match, and that's why I had to do the PGF, honestly. That feeling, I realized that I was not my best. That was not my representation of who I wanted to be with my shifts. And so
Yeah.
I do my best. Brandon asked me, where do you think you do your best workout? I was like, probably around 230 or 235 or so. He's like, all right, it's 225. And I was like, okay, I guess it's time to do some of my best work if I can. You know, it had been 6 or 7 years since I had been this small. I haven't, been this healthy or whatever way you want to frame it since probably 2016 or 15 or something like that. So everything I did in San Diego was about 250 or something like that. So
no, that's great though, man. I mean, if you can maintain that, right? Everything's better. So
that's the goal. That's the point. And so I had to do something that would kick me into gear and make me start riding out, getting more consistent with my plans and be who I need to be day in and day out. And competition is always what helps drive me. I didn't know that for a long time, but now I know for sure that that's the kind of thing that
hour and 22 minutes
motivate me to be more strict about everything I'm doing as far as diet and but I really didn't do any extra cardio. I didn't do crazy like conditioning or CrossFit or anything like that. I just did some yoga about 2 or 3 days a week and some Pilates once a week for a couple of the weeks. We could do that every day and then just rolling in the gym. That's about it. So it felt crazy to be able to get through all that stuff and the cardio stayed up to be able to keep the pace high enough for that 6-minute sprint and get through it without having done like a bunch of wind sprints and crazy stuff like that or whatever. So that was cool to kind of be able to do that and survive. But I gotta get here. I gotta wrap this up. We gotta get in and go to some wedding stuff. Is there anything else you guys want from me real quick?
No, I think that's all. This is your stream. So if you need to wrap up, let the people know where they can find you and where they can see you. And they've the behind the scenes is up.
Go ahead and go first.
Behind the scenes.
Me
personally, where can people find me? They can find me on Instagram, Backcountry Leg Locks BJJ. They can find me on Facebook, Sergey Zack Edwards, SERGEI. Only reason why my first name is Sergey on Facebook is so people at work can't find me, Find me on PlayStation, Rockin' Warzone, or you're probably gonna find me in Cali with this chick sometime. Find me out in Georgia soon, right?
Right. And in Houston tonight, is that being streamed? Oh, did we lose him?
Did we lose him?
I think he's gone over there.
He muted himself.
He muted himself.
Yeah. Zack, you muted. There you go. You're unmuted now. Now you muted again. He keeps muting himself.
It kicked me out. It kicked me out of the stream for a minute.
There you go. He's back.
I'm back.
And so, are y'all being streamed tonight?
What's that?
Is your match tonight or your tournament tonight being streamed?
Oh yeah. It's shit. I don't know where. Let me take a look.
I think we lost him. All right, you want to close it out?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it.
I'm back.
But yeah.
Hey, we're closing out.
I bet.
Everybody go to Zack's Instagram. He has some flyers and stuff on there for his match tonight or his tournament tonight in Houston. Not sure exactly where it's going to be shooting. He knows where it's going to be at, though. But it's going to be fire. There's some really big guys in there. Kamoy from the PGF, that green belt kid that was tapping out some black belts or something like that. For me, I got to go to my sister's wedding and do stuff like that. You can find me on Instagram at JunieTMP, YouTube, Stephen Eakin, STEPHENEAKIN. Subscribe to that. Like all the stuff, share it, help me make some pennies so I can make some dollars. And I love you all. Thank you, Isaac, for all the work that you put into this stuff, man. You're really helping us out. Next week, the matches are going to be more crazy than the matches were this week. I know it's hard to believe that, but this thing really gets like more like interesting and it spirals a little bit more. Each match makes it more crazy. So thank you, Zach, for coming in. Man, I love everybody. See y'all next week.
Out.